Whenever I find something that makes me happier and has a positive, incredible ripple effect in every area of my life, I want to share it with someone. So that's what we're talking about today. A few years ago, I went on a minimalist journey. I decided to become a minimalist. And it started, I didn't just wake up one morning with the thought, I want to become a minimalist. I was led to the place. There was one year when I moved 7 times and I realized how much I was carrying and how much it was making me feel heavier and less free. And that's where when it hit me. The moment I realized that I didn't feel as free to move, as light, as agile, and moving, even if I needed and I wanted it, was complicated because of how much I was carrying, because of all the things I thought I needed. That made me look deeper because, as you know, freedom, if you've been here for a while, freedom is my driver, is my number one value, desire, what I teach, what I help women with. So when freedom gets, when I feel constrained, when I feel not free to do what I need to do, what I want to do, I know it's time for me to look deeper and something needs to change. And that was my driver. And that's how I started to get curious. And I thought, what if I owned less stuff? So around move three, I think, I started that, all right, let's leave something behind. It just came out of a desire to not carry so much with me, all the boxes, all the things. And I was moving in the same city, you guys. I was living in Shanghai. I lived there for a decade. And the first year and a half, I was still finding my place. I changed districts, first living with a friend, then I wanted my own place. Then I changed a few times until I found my home. And the process, it was so interesting. And in retrospect, I'm so grateful because when I got to the place where, oh, this isn't my home, I was able to make it feel exactly as in the most spacious, like feeling spacious in my environment, in my relationships, in my life, in my work, for me aligns, is a requirement for freedom. I need to feel spacious. And I didn't even own that much. I definitely had friends who had many more clothes, much more clothes, much more stuff in general, clothing, accessories, home supplies, devices, just jewelry, like so much more. I didn't even have owned that much, but it still was a lot for me. So I took every possible chance I had. Every next move after move 3 to 3, I started leaving something behind. I started donating, I started clearing, I started removing, just less and less and less until I became so agile within my moves. And even when traveling, I remember I would travel and pack so much, and I would end up just wearing the same two outfits throughout the whole holiday. And at some point, I was like, what if I pack less? And actually, when I'm there, I get to purchase some local stuff, some things I like. And just even if I don't purchase anything, I just get to travel lighter. That alone, the lesson I got from moving so much and carrying all those boxes and eventually dropping so much out of my life reshaped. I would have to reflect on it and write down how much it changed in my life. It touched every single aspect, not just how I pack my travel bags and baggage, but how I choose what I choose. I choose more high quality items because I want things in my environment that feel precious to me, that matter to me, whether that's texture I enjoy, whether that's quality of a fabric, whether that's a memento from a travel, maybe it's a photo, maybe it has emotional value, but I just want to feel my environment precious. And I realized I wasn't just decluttering my space, my home, I was also decluttering my mind. And that's where inevitably I found the book Marie Kondo approach. And of course, I purchased her book, Spark Joy, which I gifted to so many people, friends and loved ones. Because as I said, when I find something that brings me happiness, I just share it. And please know, I always add this whenever I gift the book to someone or share something about minimalism with someone. I always say, be careful because it's contagious. You will, when you start removing things from your home, starting perhaps with your wardrobe, maybe you move on to your kitchen, maybe you move into your living space, maybe in your drawers and your books, your shelves. And then inevitably, you're gonna have that attitude towards your relationships, your friendships, your group chats, your apps on your phone is gonna contaminate the most beautiful, powerful way every aspect of your life. I did not expect that. And it created so much space for me to be more present, to pay attention to what mattered the most. It made everything much more enjoyable. The book is called Spark Joy because it really is about that. Because you kind of, through that process, kind of force yourself to remove things you've outgrown, things that you don't like anymore, things you don't enjoy anymore, things that you don't need anymore. And the act of donating, clearing your space, having visual space reflects also on the inside, mental space, emotional space. You just feel like you can breathe and you can take up more space. And there's also space to bring in things that align with what you want right now, who you are right now, who you're becoming, what you're building, what you're working toward. It's just, I think it's a natural process. It's like you're weeding your garden, things you don't need that are actually obstructing other seedlings to sprout. They're obstructing growth. They're obstructing your own growth. They're limiting your growth. And when you create space, there's magic. I promise you, there's going to be magic that unfolds in the most unexpected ways. And I'm just trying to think about if there's any. I remember when I started doing it organically, as I said, as I was moving and started carrying with me less and less things. And then it started to become a more intentional process. And then I purchased the book and I went through my own wardrobe and I created my own capsule collection. I own very few pieces, but they're pieces that I absolutely love and adore. My wardrobe has items. Most of my winter items come from Japan. I purchased in Tokyo. I love the design they have in Japan. My there's a funny story always. There's a funny story about my wallet. So years back, my wallet just broke, and I managed to stay to live without a wallet for 2 years because I was like, I can become very obsessed. When I go into one thing, I'm gonna go all in. So this was probably extreme, but I was like, until I find a wallet that sparks joy that I absolutely love, I don't want another one that's half kind of like it or just I don't want something that's just useful. I want to love it. So I managed to stay there. Remember, people around me like, Marina, you're crazy. Why can't you just get a little thing to put your things in, your money in. I was like, no. And I managed, I think, with some little purses, tiny, tiny ones. I can't remember how I managed, but I waited and I found my dream wallet in Japan. And you guys, it's been a while. I think we're getting close to the 10-year mark. It has, it hasn't worn out. I mean, it has still many years of service ahead. I pray and I hope, but I'm already thinking, I'm already telling my boyfriend when this wallet breaks or it becomes not usable anymore, we're gonna have to fly back to Tokyo because I'm gonna find it there. So this is just a funny story to tell you how it changed me. And maybe there was some of that behavior attitude already, but becoming a minimalist allowed me to become more of who I am with so much joy and like unapologetically. My gosh, I wish like everyone, I think everyone should go on this journey. And as I was saying before the wallet story, when I started becoming more intentional, people got so curious because they could see it without knowing I was going through my minimalist phase, my minimalist like awakening. They started asking questions. They could see I looked lighter, like the items I was wearing. There was something about my energy. Your energy is gonna change. Is gonna actually be amplified because you're gonna remove this is we're talking yes about your physical environment, but it's gonna happen on so many other levels that people are going to pick up on and they're going to get curious because when you radiate joy, positivity, lightness, fulfillment, freedom, spaciousness, when you are just fully yourself, just open and radiant, people ask you, what are you doing? What is happening? Because it's contagious. That's why I say it's contagious. And I cannot tell you how many people in my life reorganized and decluttered their home after I shared about my journey with minimalism. And many of them received the book from me as a gift, Spark Joy from Marie Kondo. And it's gonna revolutionize your life in the ways you didn't know you needed. Highly, highly recommend. Going through my notes to see if I miss anything because there's so many juicy tidbits, so many stories that came with my minimalism journey, but they will come. Probably I will share it in next videos if I'm forgetting something, but yeah, other people will notice because something big and in many ways, there are going to be many shifts within you and they're going to be reflected on the outside. People will pick up on that. Even what you want, if you actually, let me say this, if you're feeling stuck or confused, I actually have exercises that are not explicitly minimalism about minimalism, but they are inspired by the principle and what minimalism can create in your life. In my resource, it's linked in the description box. It's about building your bigger life, and part of building a bigger life, it's about creating space. There's also a recorded practice, an audio practice where I guide you through a nervous system somatic practice to build the capacity. It's about creating space and building capacity so you can experience more. This is a digression. It just came to my mind. If you want to dive deeper, it's the link is below. And yeah, so often when you're ready for your next leap, when you like, I'm ready to build something greater, something bigger, I want more income, more impact, more freedom, more adventure, more peace. Usually, it's not about adding. Usually, um, it's about removing what's standing in between those weeds. It's removing what is stunting your growth, what's been serving you so far. Thank you. We acknowledge it. We give praise, we give thanks. Thank you for getting me to this point, and then you need to release it. And maybe sometimes the things you release are going to be things other people need. Like the most basic example of my jeans story, I carried that pair of red jeans for years in every move across the world, every travel. They didn't fit me anymore, but I just carried them with the thought one day I will fit back again into those jeans. And I feel every single person on the planet has a jean story. Maybe it's not jeans, something else. And the day I finally, it was actually during my wardrobe decluttering phase, I decided to donate them, to get rid of them. They, I put them there was in our compound, there was a section for things you were not using anymore, you wanted to donate. So I left the jeans there the night before when I decided to clear my home, to clear them from my life, like goodbye. And the next morning, I woke up when you like went to my wardrobe, the jeans were not there. I felt like, like such a relief because they were a constant reminder of, you still need to do some work to get back into those jeans. And I didn't even want to, but because I was carrying them with me, I was just reinforcing that belief that was so outdated. I just needed to remove the trigger, just remove the reminder. I don't need, just sometimes we just carrying things we don't need anymore out of whatever. And it's your job to recognize what are those things and release them, let them go. And when I walked downstairs, ready to go to work, and I was walking past the place where I had left the jeans the night before, they were not there anymore. So it made someone else's day because they picked it up. So sometimes the things you release are gonna be the things that are helpful to others. So let yourself outgrow old clothing, old wardrobes, old houses, old environments, anything that isn't fitting you anymore, and let yourself have the space to become who you want to be in this next season of your life. Really get the book, go on a minimalist journey, and you will you will feel like reborn, literally. That's how powerful it can be. All right, you guys, that is all for me for today. That is all for me for today. If you don't know, my name is Marina. I was forgetting my name. This is the fourth video I'm recording today, so my brain is a little bit, I'm still full of energy because I love doing this. Like my brain is like, I'm also getting hungry. So I'm gonna get my lunch ready, gonna prep my lunch. And if you don't know, my name is Marina. I make new videos every day. And I'm here to remind you that the life you desire is one leap of courage away. So please go get it, go build it, go, go be the person you know you came here to be. And if you need support, the link is in the description box below. I will see you tomorrow.